Hello, my YouTube world. This is Johnny Mo, and you know what today is. You know what today is. Today is Motivational Monday, and today I want to talk to you about being stretched and how allowing yourself to be stretched will propel you further if you allow yourself to be stretched. This is going to represent a rubber band. It is something that can stretch, and if I were to let this go when it's max stretched, I can propel it a long way. The problem with most business owners, most people in general, most people, individuals in their life, they don't like to be stretched because it's uncomfortable. It's that feeling like, oh, it hurts a little bit, oh. And what they do is they go and they, I don't want to be stretched. So they allow themselves to come back down. And what happens is when it's time to let go of the rubber band, when it's time to let go and actually get something done, they don't get anything done because when they let go, they can't propel themselves anywhere because they're not being stretched. Every time something uncomfortable happens to people, they just, I'm done. I'm done. That's what happens. And if you don't allow yourself to be stretched, you don't allow yourself to be stretched as an individual, as a business owner, you're not going to be propelled. See, it's the stretching that propels you. Look at that. It's see that right there, that's the uncomfortable part. That's the part that just, oh. And what happens is when people get to this point, when you're stretched to the max, when you're doing everything you can do, what they do is like, oh, it feels good. And then all of a sudden, look, you can't go anywhere. When it's time to be propelled forward, you don't have enough backwards momentum or some stretching to propel you forward. And it seems like you're never getting anywhere. It seems like last year looks like the year before looked like the year before, and you're wondering, like, what's going on? You're not allowing yourself to be stretched. You're not allowing yourself to go through those things. It hurts. You start crying. But when you allow yourself to be stretched, and it's uncomfortable, guys, it just doesn't feel good, and you just stretch, and what just happened? When I let it go, it propelled all the way up to my roof. Was before, when I was getting stretched, I don't feel good, so you come back a little bit, like, and you can't get anywhere. There are times in your life that you're going to be stretched, and you got to say, you know what? I'm going to go through this uncomfortable time. I'm going to go through this stuff because what's happening is I'm being pulled back. And that negative pulling back, that, it doesn't feel good to be stretched. And what happens is, you're propelled. And you go further in life than you would have if you wouldn't have allowed the stretching. So today, guys, what I want to do for you today is I want you to go through this week and be stretched. You know, sometimes you don't know that you can cut 16 lawns a day because you don't stretch yourself enough to know it. What happens is it rains all week, and all of a sudden you've got to cut 36 lawns Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's rained all week, and you're like, I don't know, I'm going to do it. And what happens is you panic, but all of a sudden you get it done. And it was the rain. It was the stress of the rain. It was the stress of having to do it to find out. And then all of a sudden you're doing it all the time. It's like, oh, it's no big deal. I can do this. It's easy. I can do this. But you wouldn't have known unless you felt that stretching. And sometimes the stretching will propel you so much further than you ever would have thought of. You know, some of my biggest gains in life and business has come from being so stretched and going through that stretching process. Literally right now, it's 5:30 in the morning, and I am up super early because I'm being stretched right now. I'm being stretched right now as we speak. I'm not going to go into why I'm being stretched or how that came up, but I'm being stretched right now, and I'm going through it, and I'm feeling, you know what, I'm going to get through this. This ain't nothing, man. So allow yourself to be stretched. I'll finish with this little story, and this will be Motivational Monday, baby. Last night I was watching LeBron James, and he was playing the Atlanta Hawks, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the Atlanta Hawks. LeBron James missed his first 10 shots I mean, for any other individual, that would have been it. You know, when you miss 10 shots or you strike out all the time, that's it. You're done. They're going to the bench. I stink. This is over. You know, but what happened was he just kept shooting. You know, he's on the biggest stage Sunday night, game 3. You know, they're up 2-0. He's struggling. Kyrie Irving's out. He's been out for 2. Kevin Love's been out. And, you know, so everything's falling on him. The whole world was looking at him. His team's looking at him, and he missed his first 10 shots. This is what happened last night. Last night, he went for 37 points. He went for 18 rebounds. And he went for 13 assists. How does that happen? Because he was able to take the stretching of missing. He was able to take it on and keep going forward, allowing himself to be stretched, allowing himself to go through everything that he was going through in those moments leading up to the end of that game where he actually won the game. He hit the final 2 shots to send him. It was in overtime, and he hit the final 2 shots for the Cleveland Cavaliers to propel them to go up 3-0. You stop shooting, or you stop allowing yourself to be stretched, you'll never be at the end of the game hitting the final 2 shots. You'll never be the one holding the ball at the end of the game. And everything is in his hands. Now think about it. Everything was in his hands. He missed his first 10 shots. That's a lot of shots to miss. And here he is. He's holding the ball at the end of the game. Drives down the lane. Goes up over 2 people. Banks it in. Very difficult shot. They go up by 1 point. They were able to hold on in overtime to win this game. Huge life lesson right there. And this is a huge life lesson. Allowing yourself to be stretched. Allowing yourself. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. You don't like to be stretched. But you got to understand it's in the stretching that really propels you in your business to have success. It's in that stretching where LeBron James missed his first 10 shots. But by the end of the game, look what happened. At the end of the game, he was able to work through all the stretching, work through all the mishaps, and end up being, obviously he's going to be the MVP of the playoffs, but it's in that time you have to understand it. It's in that time that you have to go for it. This is Motivational Monday. I want you guys to do me all a big favor. If you've watched this video to this point, you're at the 7-minute mark. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go over to Stsnely Genadak's podcast and listen to the interview that we've done. So what you want to do is you want to head over to Stsnely Genadak's podcast and give it a listen. So that's our interview. It's about 30 minutes. Take some time out today. I believe there's some really great information in that podcast that will help you out in business. It'll help you out in life and just make you plainly a better person. So this is my time. This is Motivational Monday, baby.